Sabu was still there, still answering messages, still using the same handle, still trusted by the same people who had no idea he had already made a different arrangement. The FBI arrested him on June 7, 2011. Nobody knew. They released him the same day and he walked straight back in. Tflow went down July 19th. Topiary, July 27th. Kayla, March of the following year. All from the inside, all from a room that looked exactly like it always had. The most dangerous thing at this level is never law enforcement watching from outside the channel. It is someone inside it who already flipped. You will not find out until you read their name in an article 3 months from now. What the final level of this story costs is something you cannot get back once you understand it, and by the time you reach it, you will realize the channel was never as safe as it looked. Level 1. The Lurker. You are 17, maybe 18. It does not matter, because where you are about to go, age leaves no record. 3 clicks deep into something you cannot name, you find the board. Every post stamped with the same word. Anonymous. Not a username. The absence of one. And somehow that absence has more weight than any name you have ever seen attached to anything online. They call themselves a hive mind. Leaderless. Decentralized. The first rule is do not disclose your identity. The second is do not talk about the group. Nobody enforces either one. They hold because everyone agrees without being asked. You watch for 3 weeks before you type a word. That is how you learn the language here. And the language, once it takes hold, is a kind of membership that no one issued you and no one can revoke. The cost is small at first. Just that corporate logos start to look different. Government websites, payment processors, infrastructure pages running on software from 2009. You are learning what the word vulnerable actually means. And that word, once it lands, does not leave. Level 2, the skid. You downloaded the tool on a Thursday afternoon, the low-orbit ion cannon, free. Runs from your desktop. You aim it at an IP address posted in a thread, and you click, and you become one of thousands of people flooding the same server with the same packets at the same moment. The server slows, then goes down. 11 minutes. What nobody in the thread explains is that the tool does not hide you. Your IP address is visible to anyone watching. In 2008, members who used it during the first major coordinated action against the Church of Scientology learned that later, in a different kind of room. Dmitry Guzner was 19 years old. He pleaded guilty to unauthorized impairment of a protected computer. 366 days. Federal prison, so you learn. A VPN first, then a routing chain you spend 11 days building because someone explained it in a thread to no one in particular. The power here is arithmetic. 10,000 people doing what you just did became something that cost PayPal an estimated $5.5 million in a single December. You are one pressure among thousands. The target cannot tell you apart from the current. The shadow is also arithmetic. 10,000 people includes someone who will click too fast, who will become the example in someone else's press release. Level 3, the soldier. You have been in IRC for 8 months. A handle, something short, something that exists only here, in this room, among these voices you have never heard out loud. Operations move through these channels quickly. Someone names a target. Someone posts a time. And at that time, across 16 countries, without anyone meeting anyone, it starts. In 2010, a coordinated wave brought down the websites of the Recording Industry Association of America, the Motion Picture Association of America, PayPal, MasterCard, and Visa, in rolling sequence. PayPal provided 1,000 IP addresses to the FBI afterward. 14 arrests followed. Turkish police arrested 32 people in June 2011 alone. You help draft a press release, 3 paragraphs. You post it at 2 a.m. By 9 a.m., Reuters is quoting it. The BBC is quoting it. You wrote words that are now inside international news coverage under the name Anonymous, which is your name, which is everyone's name, which belongs to no one. The power here is mobilization. One message in the right channel at the right moment can put 5,000 people in motion within 4 hours. The shadow is that you cannot vet 5,000 people. Traces connect to traces. Your mother calls on a Sunday and asks if you are eating enough. You say yes. If this is landing for you, subscribing takes 2 seconds and means you never miss one of these. Level 4, the hacker. 2 years, maybe 3. The distance between this level and the last one is not time. It is that you found a real vulnerability in something real, and you went through it. In February 2011, a small group used a SQL injection weakness to break into HB Gary Federal, a computer security firm whose CEO had been publicly threatening to expose collective members. They used his captured credentials to access his email, his private files, his accounts. They released the entire cache as a torrent on Pirate Bay. The emails showed the firm had been designing a plan to discredit WikiLeaks. The CEO resigned before the month ended. The power at this level is access. You can read things that were never meant to be read. Account records, internal communications, files that never left a building. The reading leaves no sound. The shadow is that you cannot unknow what the reading reveals. Nothing looks as secure as it did, not as a feeling, as a fact. You know how the lock was built and by whom, and roughly when they stopped paying attention. Most people watching from the outside assume the top of this world is where the real power sits. It is not. The top is where everything costs the most. Level 5, the planner. 12 people in a private channel. Sometimes 9. The count stays tight because size here is a liability. Your voice carries weight now. You have been in enough operations that when you say something is wrong, the conversation pauses. The group that became LulzSec ran 50 consecutive days of operations in 2011 that hit Fox, PBS, the CIA website, the United States Senate, and Sony. 4 people at its core planned from channels this size in conversations this still. The power here is naming. A press release you draft at 3 a.m. becomes the frame through which 1,000 journalists describe what is happening. The operation is never only technical. What you call it shapes what it means. Topiary later acknowledged the group had exaggerated the scale of grassroots participation when speaking to the press. It worked. The story grew larger than the reality. The story became the reality. The cost is that you cannot explain what you know to anyone outside these channels. The weight accumulates. Carried alone. No word for it. The next level is the one most people in these channels never reach. The ones who do almost never talk about it afterward. Level 6, the core. The FBI arrested Sabu on June 7, 2011. Nobody knew. They released him and he continued operating inside the same channels under the same handle, answering messages from the same people who had trusted him across 2 years. Tflow did not know. Topiary did not know. Kayla did not know. The people closest to him had no idea that the center of the circle had already turned. Agents arrested Tflow on July 19th. Topiary on July 27th. Kayla on March 6th of the following year. They pleaded guilty in April 2013. By 2012, the NSA had warned the president directly that the collective had the potential to disable parts of the United States power grid. Time magazine called it one of the 100 most influential entities in the world that same year. The power at this level is that one word from you in the right channel can make someone a target or remove them from one. The entire apparatus pivots on your read of the room. The shadow is that you cannot verify who is in the room. Not really. The most dangerous thing at this level is not law enforcement watching from outside the channel. It is someone inside it who has already made a different arrangement. You will not find out until you read their name in an article 3 months from now. You close the laptop. The channel looks normal. It looked normal for Sabu's crew too, right up until it did not. Somewhere, right now, someone is downloading a tool on a Thursday afternoon. 3 clicks deep into something they cannot name. The language is starting to make sense. They do not know the names that came before them. They do not know what it cost. The machine keeps running. If you stayed this long, this channel is worth staying on. Subscribe, and the next one finds you.